Hey there guys, thanks for joining us on another board gaming night. Tonight we're playing Altiplano from DLP Games and designer Rainer Stockhausen. With me tonight I have Tony, Molo, and Martin. This is his copy that he's just picked up from Essen. And myself, Jason. Right, so if you guys are familiar with Orleans, these are the same designers and guys who made it. And this is their follow-up to that. And I'm going to give you a brief overview of how the rules work. And then we're going to show you some gameplay where the four of us are playing a few turns. And you can see how the game flows. And then we'll come back with our verdict at the end. So, to begin with, each player starts with a player board like this, which shows you all your player actions on. A warehouse where you can store your goods. A score marker type thing, which shows you what the goods are worth. Each of us have been dealt a random roll. So I'm really good in the fishing markets. I can change food to fish, or that is what I'm eating, I'm not sure. And it also tells you what you're starting with. So I started with 2 food, a fish, a stone, and 1 money. So there's my set out already: 2 food, a fish, a stone, and 1 money. And then we also drafted some special goals. So one of these I chose, potentially. And then we each got 3. I chose 1, handed 1 to Tony and 1 to Martin, and they did the same. So, and then out of those 3, we kept 2 and ditched 1. So these are the 2 that I'm going for as special goals. Anything with this little sun symbol is victory points. You have this awesome little container, which is your discard pile. So every little token you get or use goes into that discard pile. And then we have these locations right here. So just to show you, this is the first player marker, and we'll go back to that in a second. We have the goods and the worker placement areas. So this is the harbor. You can get fish. That's the mine, where you can get minerals like stone, ore, and silver. That's the town square. You can get extra carts and buildings, which also provide extensions. This is a different action. The farm, where you can get alpacas, wool, and cloth,
or cake, as I thought it was for a while.
Yeah.
Delicious.
This is the road, where you can increase the amount of tokens you draw on a turn, and also generates corn, which goes straight into your warehouse. Over here is the woods, where you can get wood, surprisingly, and what looks like an avocado, but I think it's cacao. And this is, what is this? The villages on market. You can get glass, and you can also fulfill contracts. We've got food over here and money, and that is pretty much all the components that you have got to deal with. So on your turn, you're going to draw out, to begin with, as you can't see, to begin with you draw 4 tokens out of the bag. Obviously at the beginning of the game we only have 4 tokens, or some of us, like I think those 2, have only got 3.
3, but yeah. 2 money. 3 and money.
So you draw 4 tokens out of the bag.
Well, it's actually, you draw up to, so when you're on the 4, you only have these 4 slots available. So if you already have tokens left in there, you would only get another, say, 2 tokens in there. You can't go to line 5, 6, 7, 8 until you move that down.
Moved up the road.
Or built the road, in fact.
So this is quite interesting. What is this phase called where it's kind of like, well, as we were referring to, like in Galaxy Trucker, where you're basically deciding where you're going to place your stuff. So what's that phase called?
Planning.
Planning. There we go.
Yes.
So each of us has our dude. So for example, I'm in the harbour, and then in the planning phase, I'll for example go, well, I'm gonna stick those 2 over there, and my ability is also in the harbour, so I'll do that. And then I could pre-plan for the next turn. For example, stick 1 over there or over there. And then when it comes to our action, I go, I'm done. And then if I'm the first person to be done, I take the alpaca, and I'll be first player. Once everyone's done, we then go one at a time doing orders. So for example, I'm in the harbour and I go, I'm going to spend a fish and a food, as it says over there, to get another food. They will be spent. They go in there, just to show you. And the new one I get from the market will also go over there. And then we'll go around and around until everyone passes. And then we go through the next round. You draw 4 new, or up to 4 new tiles out. If you can't, you take what's in your discard pile, stick it into your bag, and draw more. So, if I didn't mention in the beginning, this is a bag builder. And I love bag builders.
The game ends when either that... So this is like a time limit thing. So these are extensions that you can build. If one's not bought, then the bottom one's discarded and they will sort of slide down and fill up. If one is bought, obviously you fill up They slide down, you fill up from the top. When you can't fill it up, it is over. Or
when one of these areas are depleted.
when it's completely empty. So if like all the carts and all the houses are depleted from here, it's finished.
All right, and then that's it.
Back
So
to the fish. It's like some kind of someone been fishing with dynamite.
they're trying to escape. So that's basically the the rules of the game. Very simple in that extent, but there's obviously a lot to think about because you can't activate any of these areas unless you're in those areas, and you only have to begin with one movement. Which, if you spend your card, you can move up to 3 spaces, and that's jumping 3 spaces on the islands. But you can spend more food to move or buy more cards. So we're going to start. We'll play through a few rounds, and I'll come back to you with a gameplay turn when we're ready and we know what our strategies are. So, see you in a sec.
Fuck.
Alright, so this is the gameplay turn. And we've had a few turns. We've bought a few things. As you can see by my player board here, I've extended my ability to use 2 fish for cacao. I've made fish worth more points with a building. And there's quite a lot of discs in my display board, in my discard board. That's Martin's board over there. That's what Molo looks like.
Mamolo.
Molo. And
Jason's been on the mimosas, that's what it is.
so I'm going to aim this at the overall board and then we'll go from there. So first thing we do in the turn obviously is draw out new tiles from the bag. Martin and I can draw 5 now. Oh crap, I just drew a load of stone. If you don't have any more in your bag, like I've just emptied my bag now, then you take your little trash can and dump them in.
I'm hopeful that the viewers might know what an empty bag means, but glad that you showed them, yeah?
And my 5th one is a fish. Okay, so just to reiterate, I've obviously drawn, these are my tiles. I had a food left over from last turn and I've just drawn a 3 stone and a fish. Now we go to the planning phase where we basically all have to move them to areas for actions, and then the first one to finish goes done and they get the big alpaca.
Qualified by, we think that's how it works. Rules are a little bit grey on that area. Because also the first play marker passes to the left at the end of the round.
Yeah, which is also really
which you
weird.
then claim when you're the fastest to do your planning, so...
So what I'll do is, I'll aim the camera at my player board, so you can see what I'm doing during the planning phase. Right, you guys ready?
I have a question, because I can't actually remember. When you're doing
Contract.
these orders,
Yeah.
do you have to put it in here
Yeah.
to then move it to here?
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's in action.
Ball bags!
No, I'm dying. Crap, that idiot.
Yeah, see, he doesn't.
Well, how much do you want to send?
Ready?
Yeah, go for it.
I'd like to sell a silver as well.
Right,
Done.
so I want one of those up there.
Done.
Wow, you guys are fast. That's going over there. And
We had all the time you were explaining the plan.
yeah. Do I want to move? Because that's going to be harbour. And that is market, so I might move that to there. So I'm thinking, because these actions need to be done in the harbour, so that's not a full action yet, so I don't have to worry about that just yet. So I might actually just move that to there. And then what am I going to do with this 2 stone? Because I've only got 3 spaces there, and might put one of them there. And then stone is not really usable anywhere else, so I'm going to leave that there. So that's me done. So what I'm thinking, yeah, is I might go to the woods and upgrade this, or I can go to the farm town area thing and store some shit, or I can go to the harbour. So those are my different options, and obviously I've got only really one movement action this turn. Right, so who finished first? Was it you, Molo?
Molo.
It was.
Alright, so he's the first player, he's got the big alpaca. So first action, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna move. I'm gonna go to here.
So you can do 1 to 3 spaces with these cards, but he's obviously only getting 1 space.
Okay, I'm gonna spend these rocks.
Apparently,
to get another building.
Molo's building a village.
Yeah.
This is his 3rd building now.
So the buildings are obviously interesting. I'll show you the one that I've built already. They generally will increase the points value of something. So this one increases fish by 1. Fish are worth 0 anyway, so that's pretty good. And then they give you 4 in general anyway.
There we go.
Did you buy the all one?
Yeah.
I literally hate you more than anything.
Alright, so he's done.
And just to make it worse, that's the only reason I bought the all one as well.
Oh, good. So you could have bought anything.
I could have bought anything and didn't even know you were up. It wasn't even planned.
Look at the face. Show the face, mate.
No.
So, just show the card quickly. You just completed a goal.
Oh yeah, so there we go.
So the goal is to
I
build...
don't think it's the first to do that. I think that's
No, this one's not the first because normally the first one says 1 at the top. So you just had to
right.
complete this.
Oh, okay, there was no hurry even then.
So he completed 3, gets 6 points at the end of the game.
Woo!
Martin, what are you doing besides crying?
Stick the knife in and twist it twice, mate.
I'm going to sell my silver for 3 money. It's the same silver I've sold repeatedly.
Yes, because when you sell something, it goes back into your discard pile, which is very odd. Right, what I want to do. I'm gonna spend my cart, and I'm gonna move. I'm currently at the harbour, so I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. Moving isn't an action, so you can still, once you've done your movement, you can still do an action. I'm then going to spend a wood and a stone to move my thing up again.
Oh, we've got some corn for your...
Yeah. So corn is automatically stored in your warehouse because you can't store food there. But I've already started a column here for fish. I'm going to start a new column for corn. Over there. Is that right?
I don't.
That is right.
Yeah.
Is it
No,
right?
no.
I thought it added to the
No.
fish or may.
You can either start a new shelf or
I
add
thought
to
if
a
there
shelf.
was, I thought if you didn't have a choice, you had to start.
Good,
a
we
shelf.
don't know.
Well, we'll pause and check.
Yay, victory! I'll run the rules point.
Well, it turns out we're both right. You can either put it on your row or you can add it to
the...
So that was my action. What are you doing, Tony?
I am moving 3 to the mountains.
Okay.
And I'm using 2 food in the mountains to get a stone.
Okay. And then it's back to you, Mallet. What are you doing?
Okay, I am going to move using 1 food. And I'm going to go all the way over here. Wee. And then I'm going to spend those 2 to put yourself up 1.
So you are the black.
Indeed.
Martin?
Yes, I'm going to part complete that order with the fish.
Okay. So it comes to me, as you can see in my planning phase, I put stuff in my town and I've put stuff in my harbour, but I haven't got any movement left. Because if you don't have a card, you can only move 1 space when you spend a food there. So 1 space wouldn't have got me where I really wanted to go. So therefore, I'm going to pass. That's me done for this round. Tony?
3 in there. Good move. Those 3 back in the bag, so I'll actually pass.
Oh, right, good turn. You, Muller?
I am going to pass.
Alright.
I'm going to spend the newly acquired 3 money.
I'm just going to aim this at you because you're the only one with actions left.
Well, I'm the best looking here.
Well, I'm not aiming directly at
To
you.
gain that. Watch my bag. Everyone's just passed, haven't they?
Yeah.
I'm then going to move to the road where everybody else is, apparently.
Party at the road.
I can't reach, I'm not Mr. Tickle.
Oh, what? Come on. So, you guys there.
I'm going to spend these 2
You
to
can
also
join me.
gain 1 of these corn, apparently. And that
Goes
goes
into your barn.
straight in my warehouse.
Anything else?
No, I'm good.
You've built a lot of different actions, man.
I know.
It's interesting. Okay, so that's the end of the round. This section over here, by the way, I was saying earlier in during the overview step that this was just an extra. This is nothing to do with each other. This is actually activated over here. It's just I didn't want to have all the stuff down here. So if there hasn't been anything bought, the bottom one will disappear. But there has been something bought, so they'll slide down. A new one comes out.
We are on it.
And then
Ooh,
go back to the
2
next.
food for a cacao.
And then you go back to drawing tiles
You
on
get
your
your
bag.
carts back, don't forget.
Yes. So I'll aim at my board again so you can have a look what I'm doing. Not that I'm some sort of expert at this. So obviously I can have 5 chips. Oh, and for some strange reason, the alpaca passes to the left, so it goes to Martin.
It's done.
Yeah.
Just don't even.
All right, then we go to planning again.
Oh my god! What do I want to do?
Right, so
You're on that.
that's definitely going there.
Done.
I'm gonna put that there. I've got 3 of these. Goodness me, I wish I really did that. One of them will go there, and one of them will go there. Alright, I'm done as well. So my thinking here is while they're thinking, I've got a couple of harbour actions.
Thinking while we're thinking.
Yeah, I've got a couple of harbour actions here. The harbour is obviously down there. I'm currently over here. If I want to do some storing, which is over there, and building is over there as well. So I need to get this stored. I want to store these 2 fish so I can do a building action. But I think, and I want to sell this one. And I've got an extra move over there, which is only a 1 move, which doesn't really help.
Oh god.
So I think...
No.
Wow, this is difficult.
Yeah, I know what I'm going to do. So I think my plan is, while they're thinking, I'm going to move to the harbour. Then I'll do my harbour actions there. And then I can spend that 1 food over here, which is the market action where I can sell that stone for some money.
I can't move back.
Obviously
That stuff,
money
once I've
is
taken
used
stuff
over
out
here.
the bag.
And things are differently expensive as well. Like they tell you at the bottom here on the left corner what they cost. But the higher up you buy, the more expensive they get. Because they have an additional cost. Right.
You can't move it back once you place it out.
Yeah. Once
Well,
it's
you
locked in.
What
can,
you
but you
can
can't.
once you've drawn out your bag, you can't. So basically,
Right.
before the draw, you can move stuff back onto your row, but it means you're drawing less counters.
That's got to stay up there then.
Alright, is everyone done?
Not
Have
yet.
you got the alpaca? Tony?
I've got the alpaca, so I could go. Alpaca.
Even though he just he calls it up, but it's fine. It's funny how this is based around alpacas, and yet you can pretty much play this without doing anything with the alpacas.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that'll have to do.
Alright, Tone, what are you doing?
I am going to spend 1 food to move 1 to go to the village to spend 2 stone to get a building.
So while he's looking for the building, what do you want to do, Muller?
I will move my
Yeah.
cart,
So you're down here at the
hop on over to there,
farm.
and
Yeah.
I will spend wool and food to make a cloth.
What did you buy, Tony?
I brought the +1 cloth building.
Yeah, not bad, because he's already got 3 cloth in his warehouse.
The houses are dead to me now.
So just to point as well, cloth is worth 3 points. So now, ooh, that's really bad. So cloth is worth 3 points, but Tony's now made them worth 4. So that's really useful. Alright, Martin, what are you doing?
I'm going to use my food to wander into this newly discovered area that I've never seen before. And then I'm going to use my tile. I'm going to spend a food to get one of these little alpacas, a little riding animal.
Alright, so I'm going to spend my cards, and I am over here, and I'm going to go around to the harbour, and then I'm going to spend 2 fish to get a cacao. Booyah! Cacao is actually really interesting, and the fact it's generated from the forest, but if you check here on the forest action, you can't actually go here and do the action to get cacao. You have to get it from some other means. So, for example, I can get it from there. Tony's got a ship that gave him 1 immediately.
You can literally...
And I then brought an extension.
Which you can pay money
You
for.
You can get glass now as well. That's the only way to get glass.
Yeah.
4 points a pop.
Tony's also got the glass making thing as well. He's already got a glass thing to sell. Is that what you
got a contract for glass?
Ah, I see. What's your go, man?
Okay, I spend one more food to go round to the alpaca farm, where I will spend a food and a wool to get a blanket.
Another cloth.
Or a cloth, is it?
Cloth, blanket, whatever.
Milo?
I'm going to pass.
Okay.
I'm going to cart on over.
Is that where you wanted to go? And what are you going
Oh
to
yeah,
do?
shit. I get to do stuff. I'm going to sell my ore for money.
Alright. I'm still at the harbour, so I'm going to do my whatever this action is. So I'm going to change that food for a fish. Boosh. Tony?
Okay, I'm going to use my cart to go all the way over to the market
Hello.
to do the action to part for filler.
Alright, so
Order.
Milo's passed. Martin?
I'm going to do the same. I'm going to part fulfill the silver order.
Alright. I am going to spend this food over here, that goes in my container, to come join them here at this fancy area.
Party going on at the market.
Tony?
You get to know action as well.
Oh yeah, because I moved in it.
Yeah.
I will sell my ore for $1. Booyah!
Buck being the official currency of this region.
Alpaca land.
Pass.
Fast. Fast.
Now, I have a question for the I've got this extension tile, which is basically spend the money, gain one of these. Do you think you have to place the money on there to like...
You don't normally with money.
No, I don't think money needs to be placed.
Because you lose money as well. It's not like it
Yeah.
goes back
Yeah,
into
'cause
your
I was-
bag.
I think it's literally just throw money into the
It just
money
says
pile.
spend for
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
I
Cool.
don't think you have to place it.
I'll spend it.
Well, it's not a round token and it doesn't ever sit
Get
down
an
on your
alpaca.
floor, does it?
So it comes to me.
That was what I was thinking as well, so that's good. You can let us know if we're wrong.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm,
I did it that way earlier, just took it from...
I'm passing, so it's back to you again.
I have nothing left to do.
And there we go. Another round is done.
Okay.
So,
So this time nothing was bought, so...
yeah. So it gets discarded. The wagon's reset. The alpaca moves to the left. And then we do our placement and bag drawing again. So I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
What?
So I've only got 2 tiles left in my bag, which is a food and a fish. So dump my ashtray into here. I've got a wood and another food. Alright, are we ready to start planning?
Oh,
Are you already started?
It's just finished, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Molo.
So
I've now got the
that's
bloody
gonna go there.
stone there as well. So depressing.
That's gonna go there. That's gonna go there, and that's gonna go there. So move to there, and then 3 to there. So I don't think it matters if I just explain my plan. So what I'm thinking, I'm gonna use the 1 move to move to there, which will spend these actions to move me up there, which allows me to draw 6 tiles out the bag. And then I'll use my cart to move me around to the village over there, where I can store some fish. Or I could move to the... Well, no, actually, there's no point. But that's pretty much what I'm going to do. Who was the alpaca? Milo.
I haven't said I'm done yet.
Well, I'm done.
Oh, done.
Oh.
I thought you said you were done.
No. Good work, Tony.
Oh, yes, I passed it to the left.
So that's pretty much... I mean, I think you guys get the gist of what's happening here. I mean, it's pretty much the same. We keep going round and round doing the actions until we clear out an area completely of tokens. So either, like, for example, here at the road, if we empty all the grain out, or if we go to the farm and empty all 3 of those trays out, or if this runs out, which is more likely, I think, what's going to happen. Then we'll finish off the game. So we'll come back to you at the end when we're done there. So we'll finish off and tell you who won and what we thought. Alright folks, we've finished off the game. we've tallied up the points. I'll give you a quick look at my board to show you what's happened. And in last place is Molo with 106 points. In third place was Martin with, what was it?
132.
132. Tony, second place, 150. Wow, that's a big score, Tone. All that freaking cloth, man. You've been
Yeah.
sorted for winter. And first place with 156. Only beat
Of
Tony.
course.
Only beat Tony by 6 points, so it was really, really close. All right, so that is the game done. We ended the game via the expected time period, which was the
Although that being said, we were pretty close on
Yeah.
numerous other things.
corn was down to 4. I mean, all the fish was gone, all the glass was gone, all the ore was gone. There's only one building left.
One building left, but several
Oh,
carts.
Both blankets and
It's interesting that the carts aren't worth any points as well. 'Cause if they were, I think if additional carts are worth a point each or something, I think people
Yeah.
would have bought them. But there's no incentive. Once you get that first one, probably not going to want to travel that far.
Yeah, you'd have to have that, because that's all stuff that'd be filling up your space as well that you're going to have to put out for the cart. So it's, yeah.
All right, well, let's have a chat with the guys, see what they thought. So about you, Milo. What did you think?
Thought it was great, but I'm now knackered, so I'm probably not about to give the best review. But yeah, I
Unlike
really,
normal when he's a wordsmith.
I very much enjoyed that. It's the sort of game that it takes me a few turns to get synced in, so I'd prefer to have another go at it. But yeah, it seemed pretty cool, travelling around doing the thing. That sort of weird travelling worker placement idea. Like the way it lays out, it's quite a nice looking game when you get it on the table. Yeah, generally I quite enjoyed it.
How much you rate it out of 10?
I would say probably just a 7 though. I wouldn't say it was sort of the
Over the
best
top,
game
yeah.
I've ever played, but it's certainly one I'd play again and again.
Is it something you would buy for yourself?
No, probably not.
It's something you just play with whoever has a copy.
Yeah. Well, if somebody's already got a copy, it's certainly not something I would buy if somebody I knew already had a copy of the thing.
And luckily you do know someone who has a copy.
Indeed.
That would be Mr. Coverley.
Indeed.
What did you think?
I really liked it. I thought it was very good. There's obviously I like the well, not obviously, but I like the way the board lays out. I mean, basically we've got these areas in a circle, and they can obviously go down in any way. I just told Milo to just basically put them down, sort of tell him what they did. So there's that variability there. But no, I thought once we got rolling in it, I thought it was really cool actually. It does share some similarities to Orleans, but it definitely feels like a separate game. There was a definite sort of departure from there. Lots to consider. I would highly recommend playing with the, whatever they called it.
The missions expansion.
Yeah, the missions
Objective game.
expansion. Yeah, it gives you just something to aim for, some more points on there. I thought that was really cool. Yeah, I thought it was really good. Just adding shit. I mean, for a game based around alpacas, though, I did feel like you could pretty much play entirely without doing anything with alpacas, which is a bit odd. But
Well, I was reading the back of the box, and it's kind of like set in this, I can't remember where, but it's set in a place where alpacas.
Newcastle.
It's set in
Yeah,
yes,
Oh,
West Andes,
Altiplano.
between the eastern and western Andes.
Altiplano.
So
The high plane.
So-
yeah, I thought the warehouse storage thing was really interesting as well. In Orleans, obviously, you have the oh god, was it City Centre or whatever the hell it is? I can't remember what it's called now. Where you send the tiles up there, but it's like a shared board. And this one, you've got the warehouse where you're kind of trying to finish lines, and you get more and more points for storing stuff in there. I thought that was quite interesting, and I thought the extensions were quite cool as well. I feel I probably went a little bit heavy on the extensions, which I probably shouldn't have, because only some of them were useful in the end.
But at the same time, the coin ones that came up halfway through were just fantastic.
They were really good, yeah. But the ones that I did get, I was kind of half an eye on the kind of orders and the contracts that I had. I knew I needed to do 3 contracts. I was trying to kind of perpetuate that sort of thing, get stuff that would do that. But yeah, I mean, there were definite layers there of, I want to do this, I want to go here, I want to do that, I want to do that, I want to do that. And then you've got the road where, obviously, that lets you draw more counters, so everybody really needs to do a little bit of that. In fact, I'm surprised Tony did as well as he did with only having, you know, a couple of steps on there.
And that was a really late game as well.
Really late game,
I
yeah.
just concentrated on being a cloth
Blanket man.
Yeah.
blanket maker.
Yeah, I really liked it. It's my sort of game. I think in terms of score, I'd probably score it an 8.5.
8.5.
It may even go up.
Right, for myself, it's I thought the components are quite nice. I mean, it's nothing special. I think when Orleans came out like this as well, but obviously you got the upgrades from Tasty Minstrel?
No, the fan kit from DLP they did.
Which obviously made Orleans were much nicer
But they might
looking.
do the same with this. DLP did it, so.
There's a couple of things. I liked. I really liked the way you could just, and you can do obviously in Orleans as well, where you can leave things in. So, for example, I could leave that there until I go to the forest and then spend it. That's really cool. I really enjoyed that. I liked the fact that the islands can be rearranged in different ways, so it's not always the same. Although you can pretty much reach anywhere on your turn.
Yeah, that's one slight problem. If they had another cut, because it's 7, you can pretty much go, oh, I need to get to that one, so I'll go that way round or whatever. And
Yeah.
You could never reach something, which was a bit of a shame. You almost can't. You don't get penalised for not planning ahead so much there.
And there was enough ways to gather points. But overall, I must admit, I thought it was quite average. I mean, I think Orleans is far and away better than this. I don't know. It was. I don't like the way this alpaca thing where you plan your thing and then.
Well, that first player thing is dumb, basically.
Yeah,
so, unless we've got something entirely wrong, and I did read it out to the guys as well. So, it does say in the end phase, the first player marker, which is that alpaca, passes to the left. However, in the planning phase, everyone plans simultaneously, and the first person to finish their planning says they're done, and they take the alpaca marker, the first player marker. So I don't understand the point of it passing to the left, unless I've completely misinterpreted something, maybe. But so it's like that kind of Galaxy Trucker. I finished first. Now I get to go first. I think.
I get the point of it as well, is because obviously if you get a situation where you want to beat someone to an objective or something,
Yeah.
I don't really think in our game that we played it came into play very often.
Either. But I'd always prefer it just to like pass to the left.
Yeah, or
Much
something else
simpler.
that you can grab first player with, by doing or something. I think that was much better. Also, I also felt that this was missing something like in Orleans it has, where every turn you have some sort of detriment, so you have some mitigation to do. Where this was just plain sailing, just go around nice and easy, pick up this.
Yeah.
There was no fear or threat or anything. And also, I really found it weird that you can sell stuff and you can trade stuff in, and it just keeps coming back to you never run out of cubes or tokens. So it's just, I don't know, it just felt very meh. It was just like, just go around, get your coins and stuff and get your resources. Filling this up or building buildings and stuff, get points here, get points there.
Well, I think that in Orleans you've got the obviously the threat of a plague or whatever it is that's coming up, and in this one it's all kind of very friendly, if you like, but the threat is coming from the other players in so much as you're trying to outscore them essentially.
And there's obviously lots of ways you can score points, and these buildings where increasing the points value is very important. I don't know. For me, it was very average. I didn't, if I had to choose between this or any other bag builder, I would choose any other bag builder.
Wow.
So this has gone way down my list of interesting bag builders. I mean, I'd probably score this. I don't know. I want to try it again just to be sure, but maybe a 5.5.
Holy crap!
Well, that's the lowest game of the night for you.
Yeah, I don't know. It just didn't do anything for me. I like some bits of it. I like the way it looks. I always like bag building. I really enjoy bag building a lot. I mean, Orleans, Hyperborea, King's Pouch, all those games are really good. In fact, I'm even making my own bag builder pouch game. But this one, it didn't do it for me. I just felt that was very average. So that's hence the score of 5.5. How about you, Tone?
I don't know. I did quite well in it, but I think I'd prefer to play Orleans.
Yeah.
It's an easier version of Orleans, really. And I prefer exactly the same as you said, the plagues, the threats
Yeah.
from Orleans. That
That you can't just have your own way and just go everywhere and get everything you want.
And my review would be pretty much the same as yours. I'd score about 5.5. If given the choice, I'd play Orleans, not this.
Or Hyperborea, or even automobiles. I really like automobiles. That's really
It's a
good.
very different game, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I mean,
in a bag
this
building,
one you've got a direct comparison really with Orleans, but I think a lot of the others don't compare at all really. This is a very Euro bag builder, whereas Hyperborea isn't, or Automobiles isn't. They're very different.
well, focusing on the main, the bag building element. I mean, it's the same like with a deck building game. You focus on all deck building games. So therefore, I like say Clank over Dominion, that sort of thing. Whereas this one, I don't know. It was just very, I don't know. It was really soft. I don't know how to explain it. It was just light. It was just go around.
See, I didn't think it was light.
I didn't even have
God.
that many options on my turn. So I had a combo where I could get glass and cacao really easily, and I just went back and forth every
But
turn.
You built for that.
Yeah,
That's not the game's gone. There you go, have that.
But I didn't-
You went for that and you benefited from that.
and that's why I think it was missing what Orleans was missing, because I didn't feel any threat. It was just every turn. And one of you guys should have probably stopped me from doing that.
Not easily though.
No, you can't. Yeah.
I mean, there's the interaction wise. There's not a lot other than taking something that someone else wants before you. But then again, Orleans doesn't have any interaction really at all either, other than taking the citizen tiles. It's basically it, or a couple of spaces. In fact, they're both fairly similar in terms of interaction in that regard. In you're basically doing your own thing, and other people are doing their own thing as well, and then
Yeah.
you see who's won at the end.
I think Orleans is tighter. It's harder to like when you come up with a combo. It's harder to come up with all the points and stuff. Whereas this one, I just felt points were falling into my lap. I got in my last turn, I stored stuff in my barn, and then I went over there and bought silver. Just silver was 3 points. Let's just go there, get a silver, 3 points. Then go over there. I got another one of these things, cacao, which gave me another 2 points. And I picked a boat. That was another 2 points. It was like 10 points on my last turn for doing nothing, just going around and doing,
That's
any.
points.
I think
stuff,
it's
isn't it?
because of
Simple
the
as that.
storage. It's a lot easier to control your bag.
Yeah,
It's a hell of a lot easier than Orleans to control what's going back into your bag. And
yeah, that is a
Oh, well,
big thing.
it's
Wouldn't
easier
say
to
that was
take
a-
stuff out.
Wouldn't say that was a negative of the game. Though. I mean, it's
Oh,
interesting to
no,
have a
no,
bag
it's
builder
just-
that sort of works around that principle, where you're constantly cleaning and streamlining. your bag.
I actually thought that was a really interesting part of it, of what to take out and when to take these things out. Do I take out like silver, for example? Selling that for 3 was like 3 money is really good because it allows you to buy these tiles and things like that. But do I just take it out and store it? Because actually it doesn't do anything else other than just selling it for money and things like that. And that's the kind of
Well, that's the problem.
decisions you're making.
I don't think that's a decision. Like, for example, like the glass. I was collecting glass. I got 50 points from 10 glass. And they do nothing else other than give me that 50 points.
So, I mean,
And
I
then
think it's fairly unusual you're going to be in a position where you get that many glass generally.
Well,
in a
even
game.
Tony had the same with the blankets. They do nothing else other than score points.
But the blanket, the cloth you can sell for 2 money.
Yeah, but money doesn't do anything for you at the end of the game.
Not at the end of the game, no, but it allows you to buy these tiles during the game. That's the thing. I mean, he was storing them from basically the get-go, so he made a decision to store rather than to sell, whereas I didn't store my silver until much later on because I was selling the silver.
But
And also I was completing my contracts with them as well.
But that's kind of what I mean about the, it's not really, I mean, like the glass, I collect glass, I store it, it empties my bag. It's not even a decision. It's just, I'm going to do that because...
I hear what you're saying, and in that regard, you're absolutely right. The glass does nothing, you can't sell it, you can't do anything else, and there's only 1 or 2 contracts with them as well. But I think that situation which you made for yourself is fairly unusual. I can't imagine that there's going to be many games where someone gets 10 or whatever
No,
glass.
I don't expect anyone else to get...
But with,
and
with
the next
another kind of resource, like the silver, for example, that has multiple. There's several contracts with it. They sell for 3, or you can store them because they don't do anything else. So it's when to remove them from your bag. That's part of the game. That's part of the decision making. Glass, absolutely. Get rid
Also,
of it.
we're talking about the contracts. I don't actually think the contracts are that good. Based on my principle was you score. You have to do all the actions to get them out of your bag into the contract, and you score, let's say, 10 to 15 points per contract.
Class is 19 and 17.
And and then that's it. That you'll never score that again. But when you put them into your barn, you get the points for filling up a row. You get the points for them being part of your stock.
But the difference there is you can have 3 entirely different resources, whereas you can't do that. I mean, 3 entirely different resources in your warehouse is nothing unless you fill the row. So you can have a diversified strategy there. I mean, my contract scored me the most. I mean, they scored me a crap load, in fact.
I mean, if you think, I know again, I'm focusing on the glass, but glass scored me 76 points.
It's pretty good.
That's just too much for doing nothing.
But you didn't do nothing. You played for that. Don't downsell what you did. You got specific cogs for that machine, and you ran that machine.
Ironically,
Simple
it's
as that.
Tony's fault that I went for the glass because he gave me the glass project.
Yeah, but also, look, the people that finished the 2 highest scores quite close went a similar route.
Yeah.
Went a similar way. I went blankets and got the blanket +1, filled up with blankets.
It was a blanket approach, really.
Approach.
Well, Milo actually built
But
the building.
does it mean there's a bit of a outweighing in the routes?
I see
To
what you're saying,
victory.
yeah.
But it was our first game, so it's
Yeah.
possible that we didn't know to look out for that sort of thing. Go, okay, that person's going this route. We can't let them get that building or whatever.
Well, that's why I said I want to play it again one more time to make sure that I'm really not that bothered by it. But yeah, for my sake, it's very low down at the moment. If this is one of the highlights of Essen, then I feel bad.
Jesus, I mean, I don't think it's.
I don't think it's that.
No, absolutely not.
No, look, but if it was a highlight of a whole show with 300-400,
Well, no, it was still playing. It was only like a week later. Jesus Christ, how many games did we play?
So there we go. Me and Tony are kind of meh on it. Milo's halfway down the road.
Yeah, I
I
thought it was
would
alright.
prefer to play Orleans.
Well, Milo's not played Orleans, so he's got
That's
no kind of
true,
basis
yeah.
of comparison as well. But I wonder
That's interesting. If you made this a 7, and you quite liked it, I suspect you'll like Orleans better then.
Well, certainly if there's the concept of the extra level of adversity that you mentioned about does seem more appealing.
The thing is, I mean, it's got all the same, if you like, pitfalls that this does, in that there's nothing you can do to affect anyone else other than doing something first. The only difference really is every turn. So instead of this being the turn track, you've got an event thing that comes out that says, this is in effect this turn, do this at the end of the turn or get fucked. And that's basically it. So you're like, okay, I've got to bear in mind that. Or half the time, it does nothing anyway. Like, oh, you've got to pay 5 gold. Well, I've got 30 here anyway. It's going to have no... And gold is just like an accumulation of money. That's it. It does nothing really. You don't spend it or anything. So
It also has a couple of other bits added to it. Like, for example, it has the city of the country of France, and you can go traveling.
The movement around,
yeah. Well, there you go.
They've localised that though in this, haven't they?
Yeah, you're just moving around, yeah. So that's our look at Altiplano from DLP Games. If you liked what you saw when we did the gameplay and got an idea from our thoughts, then you can go pick it up. It's coming to your good, friendly local game stores soon, or if not already. So go have a check, and thanks for watching. Thanks for playing, guys.
Ciao.
We'll speak to you guys later.